And another hospital in Bengaluru reporting an oxygen crisis. This is the Akshaya Neuro Hospital, which is running short of oxygen. And they've said that patients are being advised to shift elsewhere as the vendor is not supplying the oxygen on time to the hospital. This is, remember, another incident, another SOS being sent by a hospital in Bengaluru, which is reporting several problems about oxygen supply. Neha joins us for more. Neha.
Aarti, this happens to be the 7th or the 8th hospital in Bengaluru just in the past 24 hours that's reporting an oxygen shortage. I happened to speak to the MD of the hospital who himself is on oxygen right now. What he went on to say is that the hospital has been running short of oxygen for nearly the past 3-4 days now, and at any given point of time, they don't have more than 3 or 4 hours of oxygen. They're rushing their cylinders to the universal gases plant at least a good 5-6 times a day, getting their cylinders refilled and having them brought back. Largely, this seems to be the problem with many of the smaller hospitals across the city, where they are dependent on their cylinders being refilled by the plants, which is why logistically it's taking a lot of time to actually transport the oxygen from the plant to the hospital, which is why we're seeing so many hospitals raising an SOS, asking for alternate cylinders. Many of the hospitals, in fact, that we spoke to have even gone on to say that they would be willing to hand their empty cylinders to anyone that can supply them filled cylinders right now. So to put this in a little bit of perspective, yesterday there was a meeting that was held with the Chief Minister and the oxygen manufacturers where several key issues were brought up, one of them being that of transport of oxygen, and the government has promised now that they would in fact come up with a green corridor for cylinders. However, it's one thing to say it on paper, but this needs to be implemented very quickly right now at a key time when hospitals are actually facing the shortage.
Well, yes, it is a crisis of unprecedented proportions that is even struck Karnataka now. It's something that has incidentally come up in court also several times. We'll keep a close track, of course, on the continued SOSs that are being issued by several hospitals, which unfortunately have also resulted in several of them having to shift patients out or turn some patients away who have come knocking at their doors.